Hi, welcome back to the channel. Well, I'd say this is my first winter ride out here in Bulgaria. Absolutely below zero, freezing in the mornings. It's now about lunchtime, sun's out again. If you look, beautiful blue skies. This is what we sort of get this time of year. I don't usually venture out till lunchtime now because the roads will be covered in ice. I'd say sun's been out for quite a few hours and beautiful. Got to drag my winter jacket out today, my winter gloves. Yes, I'm wearing gloves today while filming. Right, just having a ride up in the mountains. This is a place called Gabovo. It's what we call the Roma village. Quite nice. Used to be very run down, but for some reason it's had a fortune spent on it. Brand new roads, like a racetrack. Didn't used to be. But can't complain, makes it a lot better, it's a lot tidier. Very big village this is. Just typical Bulgarian mountain village really, I suppose. Well, I'm on my way to a place called Cameo-Poli. It's the first village when I moved to Bulgaria I came and lived in. It's on top of a mountain. Cameo-Poli. Translated to English means fields of stone. To be honest, I've been here in Bulgaria 12 years and it was the best time of my life, that was. I had mixing cement, no concrete mixers here. I had a small holding here, absolutely loved it. I think we had 60 goats, we had pigs, sheep. I had 3 horses, had my own cart, it's a horse and cart and what have you. I rented loads and loads of fields off the old people. Used to grow all my own hay, get it baled. What I had in excess I used to sell off in the winter, make a profit. There you go. Not many people like the look of that, but that's a pig, and that's dispatched it. It's been skinned and what have you. It's just country life. Where was I? Oh yeah. But I still had business in England I was running it from here and there, and in the end it just got too much, so we ended up selling this house and the small holding and all the animals off. Had to go back to England and we actually sold the business, then come back to Bulgaria, but we moved to another village then. And I must admit, sometimes I wish I hadn't, because I've not actually come across a village that was as good as this with the people. The village itself wasn't probably the best, but the people was absolutely unbelievable. Really was. Couldn't do enough for you, well, I say they couldn't do enough for you. It was give and take. Yeah, I could be I've been sat watching the telly on a Saturday night in my house in the summer when it's been baling and harvesting time, and it could be 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. They come knocking on my door. They've just had their winter supply of bales delivered for their winter feed for their own animals. Ian, have to come and help. So you think nothing of it. You just get your gear on, go outside, and there'll be half the village there, and there might be 300 or 400 bales there, and you've got to get them put up in the lofts, in the barns, or wherever they were stacking them, out of the weather's dry like. And that had to be done that night, just in case, because if you have a shower of rain on the hay, it's no good. And they'd be doing that. And what they used to do then was, as it nearly got to the end, it could be like, well, it would be, it'd be gone midnight. The women had got a load of food together, and they got loads of beer and whatnot, and they bring all the food out, and all the village people who've been helping would sit there and be eating, drinking, sort of socialising at 12, 1 in the morning. But that was the village life, absolutely great. Now since I've left this village, I've not actually come across that again. As you get into the, if you want to call it, I wouldn't call it the better parts of Bulgaria, I'd call it more the European side of Bulgaria. This, where we're going, is the traditional life. Wherever I've been since is creeping up to the European style life, and believe me, it's nowhere near as good. Nowhere near. Now, to be honest, it would be no good to me living here now because of some of the medical problems I've had just lately. I just won't be able to hack it. But if I had the time over again, this is what I'd do, where I'd go and what I'd do. Absolutely fantastic. We used to be working all day long, and then you didn't have like proper bars in the village. You had shops with tables and chairs and like a bar, and they all sold beer. Well, there's only 2 shops in the village, and then 5 o'clock the shop would shut. The reason it would shut is everybody would be going out onto the moorlands, we used to call, in Bulgaria it's called the Rodina, to fetch their animals in. If it was the sheep, they were fetching the sheep in. They got to sort them all out, they got to be fed. If it was the cattle, which there was hundreds, they'd be fetching them in. They had to be milked, had to be fed. Then when they'd been milked, the cow sheds had to be cleaned out and they was moved into their bedding bit. And then 9 o'clock at night, the shop used to open again. And that's when everybody would appear for a beer. Well, it took a bit of getting used to, really. And when you have a beer there, it's just sitting outside, and people would order food, not as in your idea of food. It'd be plates of little fish. I can't remember what they were called now. They're like sprat, and they're fried. You know, it's complete fish. They're not as big as your little finger. Little tiny things. Still got the head and tails and everything on. And they'd eat that, drink beer, kebabche, kafeta. Yeah, great, absolutely great. There is still villages like that about, but I don't live in one, I'm afraid. This place where I lived, near my old house, there was a massive canyon. I think it was somewhere between 5-8 kilometres long. That's the canyon. So if I can get there, we're going to have a look at that today. One of my mates, he did security, and I says to him one day, I says, well, I couldn't think where we lived. I thought, well, what the hell does he do security for? And I'll just pull in the entrance, because we're here now. He said to me one day, do you want to come with me? I says, yeah. And he says, missile site. I thought, you what? He says, yeah, it's a missile site. And we come here, we went down this tarmac road. Now this road goes for kilometres and kilometres down here, and it just comes to a dead end and there's security gates and what have you. And what it was, in the Cold War era, this was a Russian missile site with underground nuclear missiles, and this was the old base. And a lot of it's overgrown a bit, but it's like, all you see when you get there, they're not like aeroplane hangars. There's like great big old sheds, massive things, look like aeroplane hangars but smaller. And I thought, when I saw it, I thought, you know, it was the missiles, and he goes, no, and he took me around, and there's like small huts, then there's massive, look like part of an airfield with like bunker things on it, and what they was great big rings with sliding roofs on, and the missiles used to be down inside. Obviously the missiles have been taken out now, and the bunkers have been filled with concrete, or the entrances at least, and it was huge. It covered acres and acres and acres of ground. And I'm not sure who it belongs to, whether it belongs to Bulgaria or it still belongs to Russia or something, but it has to have security on it. So it does make you wonder what's still left there, really, doesn't it? But that's where he worked. Now this village is in the middle of nowhere. Bulgaria, because it was Eastern Europe and obviously under Russia, you just never know what's about here, do you? Well, I do know now, there's quite a lot of things. I only know what the locals tell me about it, and they said the missiles aren't there now, and the entrance was filled in with concrete. You'd have thought if they took all the missiles out, they wouldn't be bothered about filling the entrances in with concrete. Plus, why put security on nothing? We're about to come into Camiopoli now. This is actually on top of a mountain. I've come the back way into it as such. We'll go out the other way. Yeah, really good place this. Well, it was for me anyway. Now the canyon has got lots of caves in, which you have to walk to get to, but they disappear. It's famous for its rock climbing and caving. people come here and go in the caves and what have you. I didn't like going in the caves. The entrances are big at the beginning, then it goes really small, but then it just disappears into the ground for miles. Like, that's what it was known for. I used to spend hours walking down here with my dog. When I had my goats on the Rodina, which is the moorland, I used to take my goats along here. The Rodina, or moorland we call it, belongs to Bulgaria, and what it's for is for use free for people who've got animals. Back in the days, that's all there was here in the villages. Everybody had animals. The Russians used to make them have big farm animals, and all the cows and buffaloes, because we had buffalo here, they was farmed for Russia, and then the meat was shipped over to Russia. It wasn't for the local. It's a village that doesn't have too much money in it. I think it's had a bit spent on it since. Oh, we'll see what we can see. Let's have a look. It's like getting kitted up for the winter. There's all round bales. This would be for somebody's cows or sheep. After we left, we come back here quite a few years later because we had lots of friends here, and the village has totally changed. Oh, I know where this is going. This guy has loads of goats. They're down there. Yeah, it's had a new school built, and I think somebody privately has funded that. Beautiful it is. Right, I've got to try and remember how I get down here. It's years and years since I've been. I think down here possibly. Let's have a look. It's the typical village street, this. There's quite a lot of people from Sofia, that's the capital property here, because the air, they used to say here, the locals used to tell me, you could operate up here, the air's that clean. I suppose it was, because it took me, I really struggled when I first got here, moved here. Couldn't breathe, because you're so high up, the air's so thin. Yeah, not the streets for your family vehicles, is it? I think it might be over there. That's start of the canyon. That's the entrance to it. Yeah, it was down here. Yeah, car there, CB. The letter C in Bulgarian is actually a letter S. So S was for Sofia. The letter, what looks like a capital B, is actually a letter V. And that'd be a district of Sofia. Yeah, this is the entrance down to the canyon. I sometimes think we made a mistake not coming back here, because I absolutely love the life I did here, and the people. The trouble is, surprising how times change, isn't it? This is the joys of owning a Himalayan, isn't it? Ride to where you want, and then go on places like this. Yeah, let's have a look at it. Beautiful canyon this is. I used to take my goats down here, because I don't know if my camera's picking this up, but in the bottom is a little river, and it runs all the way through the canyon. Then you can see small cave entrances there, and they go right into the hills. Absolutely stunning place. This used to be a quarry, I'd assumed at one time, part of this. For this stone, that's what they used to build all the houses out of. But this is just the entrance. When we get a bit further, you'll see it open up a bit. You can see why the village is called Cameo Poly, Fields of Stone. You can't grow anything here. Alright, let's have a look down here. Yeah, when I used to take my goats out, I did measure it. It was over 10-mile route all day, there, back. Used to have to do that every single day. It was alright for a start, but I must admit you get bored. Only the goats and your dog to talk to all day. These are all goat trails, these bits I'm riding now. I have to watch my tyres a bit as well, because these stones are like razor blades. I think we're going to have to go back up here if we can. This wasn't one of your better ideas, was it? Oof, rust. That's the track out. We'll go further along because I know you can see a lot more. Ooh, Christ. Give the bash plate a good going of her. There we are. Yeah, in the rock faces, when we get to it, there's a lot of unusual rock formations. I don't really know how they was made like it, but it was weird. When I used to bring the goats out here, I could be, say, coming along this piece, and you could hear people talking. And you think, where on earth are that coming from? And it could be kilometres away. It's that quiet here. Yeah, I know I say my bullet will go anywhere, but I know what I'll be soon run today. Yeah, I used to have a couple of KTM 620s, enduro bikes I brought with me from the UK. That was perfect for here, that was. There's some of the rock formations. Let's go over to the edge there so you can see. Yeah, you can see some of the rocks, look. And that's, I don't know how many metres it is down. I'll have to look it up when I come home. Get home. That's quite impressive. Pick up one of the goat trails again. You get a lot of treasure hunters here. They're not supposed to. And I think Sue will correct me on this when I get back. Thracians, I believe. Ooh, Christ in. Let me just get over this bad bit. Thracians. I will look up what century that was, but it's a long time before the Romans and all that. And they was into gold, and people come here with metal detectors. And in the bottom of that canyon, that's where a lot of them lived. They had settlements there, and they still find gold masks, gold bracelets. It's illegal to take anything. And what people was doing was getting contacts through the internet and shipping it out to places like Germany and what have you. But if you ever get caught, you get done for smuggling. I need to be nearer the edge, but as you can see, it's so fucking rough. Somebody's missing it all here. Oh dear. Oh well, come on. Ooh. That's it, turn that noisy thing off. Right, see a bit more here. It runs here, it runs all the way round, right back. I don't know if you can see on the camera, the buildings in the distance, there's the road we come on. That's the start of it, all runs through here, and that way. It's It's got to be a minimum of 5 kilometres, could be 6, 7, 8. I know it's a long way. But all this here is full of caves. And I used to take my goats, we used to walk along the top. When we got to the end, we used to come round and come all the way through here, especially in the summer because it's really hot. In the bottom of there, it's beautiful and cool in the summer, plus there's a river runs right the way through it. So the goats had water all the time I was walking there, and it was cool for them. It was a beautiful place to work, you know. You know, I'm telling, getting old. Yeah, now there is a bit of a track down because there's a hunting hut somewhere down there. It's got to be 8 years since I've been here. Can't remember it quite so well. Let's go have a look. I bet on the camera this doesn't look bad at all. Whew. Try and get back on the track. There we go. Not going to go that way. Oh. Somewhere there's a way down here. Oh. Gotta be careful, I don't pick up the goat trail too much, because believe me, they can go where I can't. I can see vehicle tracks. Here we go, found it. This is going to take us down to the hunting hut, which takes us into the bottom of this canyon. So it should be, okay, it's a bit icy. Bloody hell. That's a bit slick. Be interesting coming back. Doesn't have the sun on it yet. Christ. Oh, poor old bike. Oh. Yep, we made it. There's old. Oh, I don't know what that is. You're not supposed to go in it anyway. I wonder if it could be electrical point. Let's see what we can see. Yeah, it is. It's part of the hunting thing, this is. As you can see, the top up there, quite a way down. No, I'll go see if I can get through there. I don't want to try and get through somewhere that I can't get back. Whew. Let's have a look. These are all the trails that the goats and sheep would use during the day. Crikey, the rivers. This is usually underwater. Just goes to show, doesn't it, how bad the summers have been. That was worth coming down for, wasn't it, Ian? Yeah, I could have ridden down here. Oh, that water's crystal clear, look. Sounds like there could be either a waterfall or the river running out of the rocks. Yeah, I think at one time of day it was a hydro plant as well. Let's have a look. Oops. Oh yeah. Old hydro plant. Water running out of there. And there. Run through here into a turbine. I don't think I ever saw that. All the years I lived here. Yeah, this is all river usually. You see the riverbed just dried up. Should have brought my tripod, then I could take my helmet off. Yeah, and to think the water at one time was at the top of them rocks many, many thousands of years ago. Oh. Alright. Well, the bit I was going to show you is further on, but I don't know how far it is now. It's called Stone Bridge. It's where the water's passed through the rocks and there's like a perfect arch, maybe 4 metres tall, 10 metres wide, which the water run through. As you can tell, I'm not that fit at the moment. I'm giving the art a good workout there, I tell you. Yeah, there's rocks either side again. I think I'll go back to the bike and we'll just ride back through the village. And when I improve and get a bit fitter again in the summer, I'll come down here. I'll bring Sue with me. We'll park up and walk and film the canyon for you. It's well worth it. This was just sort of a random ride out, and I thought about it while I was on the road. And I thought, well, I'm heading this way. Let you have a bit of a look. Hopefully by then I'm all fixed up and back to normal. Plus, I know there's nobody about, but I've left the keys in my bike. Yeah, there's rock formations. Yeah, where that step is there, the water, that was the river at one time of day. A long time ago though. This is the thing about Bulgaria, these things are here. Obviously, if you didn't know, you'd never know this was here. But nobody minds you coming down to have a look at it. Like I say, I've left the keys in my bike. There's nobody down here anyway, but nobody's going to steal it. This is Bulgaria, not England. Look at the water, it's absolutely crystal clear. And they do get quite a lot of fish in it. I know when they told me. Oh dear. So I'm puffing and wheezing so much. A, I've got my helmet on. B, Sue will put up how many metres above sea level I am. And like I said, I know when I first come here, I couldn't believe it. I was fit as a fiddle, trained in the gym most days. I couldn't believe I couldn't do anything. Just couldn't breathe. It took me a while to sort of get myself fit enough to be able to do anything. I had to get my breath back. I could get back up that hill. Oh, Christ. Come on in. Come on, girl, be kind to me. Yeah, I'll come back here in the summer if all's well. So I'll bring Sue with me. I think we'll probably come in the car, park up, bring yourself some sandwiches and a flask and some water and stuff, and we'll walk this. Well worth looking at. Like a mini Grand Canyon. Go on, girl. I know when I lived here I had a Cherokee Jeep Mark 1 petrol, 2 litre petrol, and it was manual 4-wheel drive, and I'd settle from the bottom of here thinking I'd get up here, alright, but this is that camera doesn't do it justice, believe me. I come up here, just 2-wheel drive, and it started jumping up and down because it was spinning the rocks out underneath the rear wheels, because it's rear-wheel drive. And it was jumping and banging about that much, my radio fell out of the dash. Oh, this is why I want Himalayan. Easy. Right, let's find a way back to the track, make ourselves towards the village. Along here, I suppose. Yeah, it goes on for far enough, this does. Really, really long way. Dead interesting. Ooh. That's a bit easier on the track, isn't it? Yeah, we'll go this way. This is actually what I like about the Himalayan. You can been over to Romania on it. Well, I've been all over on it. I did 1,000-kilometre ride into Romania the other month. Yeah, you can come down anywhere and come onto stuff like this, and it's just a left or right turn and away you go. As long as you don't knacker your tyres or have a puncture, you're just back on the road and off you go home again. What are we in, second gear? Oh, third gear. Yeah, third gear, just about tick over. Suspension smooth as silk. Hope it's not a dead end. No. Gonna bring me out on the village road somewhere. Not a soul in sight, nobody, nothing. That's how I like it, but the only problem is you happen to have a bit of a mishap, end up with a broken leg or something. You're struggling, aren't you? Whew, I tell you what, I've got my winter coat on and a sweatshirt. I am sweltering. Through here somewhere, I think. He says. A flock of sheep, look. A few hundred or so, I bet. Constantly on the move. I think we aren't being chased by a sheepdog. That's what I used to like about this village. Everybody was so friendly. I could be sat in the bar, which is just a couple of tables and chairs, and you get the herdsmen come in the morning first off, because their idea of breakfast is a beer and a glass of rakia. Rakia is their sort of homemade whiskey. But I could run this Himalayan on it and it'd run probably better than it does on petrol. Deadly stuff. So they'd be drinking beer and rakia. That's before they started work. They used to always buy a 2 litre bottle of beer to take with them. Oh, the road, look, here we go. And that would have to last them all day. I've had my neighbours. What you get is the village herdsman. One for, say, cows, one for sheep, etc. One for buffalo. Can't remember the bloke's name. I can. It's Zyke. The little chap, Zyke. He was a bit of an alcoholic. Well, not a bit, a lot. He was the one for the cows. He used to take the cows out, take his alcohol, and he'd have his own bottle of rakia and be drinking all day long. And then it would get sort of 5, 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock when they used to come back, and the cows used to get them coming back one by one, or wandering about all over the place. Zyke fell asleep somewhere, and that'd be it. The cows knew what time of day it was to go home. They'd just turn and start to head home. Then you'd be out with your neighbours, it was pitch black dark, looking for your cows. The time had gone by, Zyke would wake up, realised what he'd done, so the best thing for him to do was go and hide, which he would do. He wouldn't go home, he goes to his mate's house or something and hide there until things cooled down a bit. Which left us walking around that Rodina where that canyon is, looking for your neighbour's cows all night. Yeah. Like I say, best time of my life here, literally. It's not a village I would recommend really for expats to come over and buy a house. There is quite a lot here because you'd have a big job to fit in. The only reason I fitted in because me and Sue did what they did. Sue's a massive gardener, which they got this premonition of the English don't know nothing about gardening. I think they don't think the English knew anything about anything, to be honest, because we've got our own animals. I lived on a farm, my dad was a farmer, but we didn't have animals like they have here. But I had a rough idea, and you're either that way inclined or you're not, aren't you? So because I used to do the same sort of things as they do, that's why they took to us. Building new houses in there, look, very nice. That's quite nice, yeah. You can buy a house here for next to no, that's the thing. Right, Ian, let me have a think, where am I going to go? We'll go out of here towards the rats, where I don't think I can get. I can go back that way. I'll tell you what, we'll go right to Canino. I could always turn around and come back, or cut across. Yeah, somebody doing these, starting to do these up. Now in this village there was about everything you could imagine, even though you couldn't see it. There was a machine shop here. The bloke rebuilds engines and all sorts. Farm equipment, of course. But it's fantastic engineer, got all lathes and all the stuff. And they used to do quite a bit of machining for me. People, there's welders. There was absolutely everything. Absolutely. Whew, just about got my breath back. Yeah, there's like an orchard or something planted here now. Now the only reason this here would have been planted here, because there's lots of trees, be EU money. The EU gives grants if you plant trees. So that's why the trees are planted, they get money for them. It's the same when you see beehives. There's beehives everywhere because you get EU money for bees, keeping bees. It's part of this green whatever. The Rodina, where we've just been riding, over there where the canyon was, what the EU said, if land like that, because there's so much of it and you can't do anything with it, if you want to fence big parts of it off, clear it out so you can do something with it, the EU will pay you money. So the main people in the village, the Comet, which is the local mayor, her husband, and there was a couple of hierarchy, if you like, farmers, they claimed all of it and sectioned it off between them. Then there was paying the local Roma gypsies day rate, which was nothing really, or they probably owed them money anyway, to work on it and clear the stones into big piles so the ground looked clearer. They used to take a photograph of it before they started and a photograph of it after they finished. They're supposed to fence it off, but what they did was the stones are collected off the field parts. They like built boundaries with it, only like 2 or 3 stones high, so that was their area. So it wasn't costing them nothing. Then they claimed EU money and still will be. Every year they get a large cheque like for making use of this land. And they have a EU person come round to check it. And the day he comes to check it, they put nearly everybody's sheep on this land. So we're making use of this, we're making grazing ground, improving it. And that was enough. So the Bulgarians aren't stupid people, they know every con that's going. Every way to make money without having to do anything. Well, you can't blame them, can you? But as you can see, all this, you can't grow anything. There is fields, but all it'll grow, you can't cultivate it because it's just rock underneath. But what you can do is grow grass on it. Bulgarian Seno, or Trevia, one of the two, but I think it's Seno, which is hay. That's what I used to grow. And then you cut that, bale it, and that feeds your animals through the winter. Now all your animals are tagged and they're put in the computer, and they have a vet come round and check them all, and they keep tabs on them, what you've got, what you haven't got, and you claim so much EU money per animal. And to be honest, all the goats, they do milk them, because Sue used to, I used to, and Sue used to make soft cheese called Cyrenaica, which we buy now, and we used to sell it. So they do that as well. Sheep, Bulgarian sheep, Offstay, yes, I think it's Offstay. Sheep, they just have sheep, don't do anything with them. When they have lambs, they sell the lambs. There's a certain date that they sell them, but the rest of the sheep, they just have them to breed. The wool's worthless, they don't do nothing with it. They shear them and it's just left in great big piles. They don't do anything with it. There's no money, it's not worth anything. So I always said to them, why don't you sell the wool? So there's nobody wants it. Nobody from the EU's interested in it, so we don't do anything with it. But they have to shear them, because obviously end of spring it comes out here. Alright, let me just have a look how much battery we got left, because I haven't even brought a spare battery with me. Just about out. Brilliant. I think we're going to have to turn around. Not very well organised today. I was going to take you down into Canino, another very, very nice village. I think I'm going to have to end this video here, else the battery's going to go off. This is the trouble, you come out for a quick random ride somewhere without thinking. I'll take the camera just in case. I either see something or get an idea in my head, and then off I go, and I'm not prepared for it. Well, it's beautiful scenery, lovely this, isn't it? No people, just great. So I'm going to end this here. So I hope this was a little bit interesting for you. Sue will edit it best she can and pick the best out for you. So give it a big thumbs up. Any comments, leave them down below like you always do, and we always answer them. And I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you again then now. Cheers.